We're working our way to Philippians chapter 4. We're still in chapter 3 right now, but we want to talk about what the Bible has to say about discipling one another in Christ. And yesterday we were in Philippians chapter 3, and we saw that Paul was saying, I press towards the mark for the high calling of God in Christ Jesus. And in verses 15 and 16, this is what he says. Let us therefore, as many as be perfect, be thus minded. What kind of mind? The mind to press forward. And if anything be ye be otherwise minded, God shall reveal even this unto you. And he's going to reveal these things through others to help you have the mind to press forward towards Christ. Nevertheless, whereto we have already attained, those of us that have already learned to press forward towards Christ, let us walk by the same rule. Let us mind the same thing. Let's help others to mind the same thing, to press towards Christ. You know, what does he mean? Paul's encouraging the church and saying, hey, I didn't sit on the sidelines and watch what everyone else was doing. Focus on the goal. Pursue Christ. That is what he has called us to do, is to pursue him. And he tells us to do it together. There's a word for that, and it's our last thought for the series. Discipling one another. Here's the fourth and final subject. We need to disciple one another. What does discipling look like? As we're learning from Paul about how to have a great relationship with Jesus and with others, there's a verse that comes to my mind to help us understand what it looks like to disciple one another. In Proverbs chapter 27, in verse number 17, it says, Iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. You know, back in those days, they'd use iron tools, and to sharpen them, to make them better, to help them be able to do what they were supposed to do as tools, they need to use other iron to sharpen them. If they used other metals, it would damage the tools. So they needed iron to make iron better. And just like iron, we need other people in our lives to make us better. And that's exactly what we mean when we say to disciple one another. Discipling one another means finding a group of people to pursue Jesus with. And not just any random group of people, but a group of people who love Jesus and want to grow with you. People you can count on to be there for you, and that you can be there for them. People who will help you grow and not put you down or damage you. People that will make you better. I can remember I had two friends in college, Eric and Josh. They were both my very close friends in college. They're still my close friends that I still talk to from time to time, even though we're very, very many miles away. And we took the motto from the Three Musketeers, brother to brother, yours in life and death. And we spent a whole lot of time together, asking each other questions, encouraging each other in Christ. And this is what God has called us to, is to disciple one another. And this was probably one of the most important parts of my life, because it helped me in my pursuit for Jesus. And it is one of the most important parts of your life. You can't truly pursue Jesus alone. That's not how he meant for us to live. We need to pursue Jesus with others. And that's exactly what discipling one another means. And God has called you to disciple one another. Get around people who are going to encourage you in Christ, not discourage you. Hey, if you don't have a church home, find a church home where people love Jesus and they love people, where they want to encourage you to pursue Jesus. And I know sometimes people can come across a little bit strong when it comes to wanting to pursue Jesus, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. We need Jesus. We need others in our lives. It's one of the reasons why Jesus said in the Bible, forsake not the assembling of yourselves together as the manner of some is. Even so much more as you see the day approaching. Life was meant to do things together with fellow Christians who pursue Jesus. Who will you pursue Jesus with today? Who will you let God use in your life to disciple you? And who will you allow God to use your life to disciple? God bless.